Hey, what's up soldiers? My name is GregFPS and today I'm here with my good friend
Carnage Chuck, and what we're going to be doing today is covering the in-depth Black Ops 3 trailer breakdown. We have around 70 screenshots here for you guys, so sit back, relax, get yourself some popcorn, a pen, paper, and notepad, whatever you got to get out, and we're going to be feeding you guys with a lot of knowledge. Every single little detail we're going to be covering to the best of our abilities.
Alright guys, so as you can see in this first screenshot, there's a city landscape in the background. There's also a lot of overgrown vegetation, which could have something to do with maybe that this city is abandoned. And one really little thing that you can't really see too well is there's actually a soldier running in like the middle area right there.
I guess going on to the second screenshot here, as you guys can probably see the little soldier there in the background, as we'll probably zoom in on that just a little bit. I can't exactly tell if that's a soldier, like it's in the very front center. I can't
middle area.
Yeah, front center main area there, but there's definitely some sort of robotic type of soldier down there.
Yeah, the main reason I wanted to take a screenshot of this was because of the main soldier that you can see right in the front. It looks like that soldier has overkill because there's a pretty large gun and then a sniper rifle in the back. So it looks like maybe overkill is returning to Black Ops 3.
Also, just point out something a little bit while you were talking. I was kind of looking at the body type of the person. It looks like that'd probably be a female soldier from what I'm seeing.
Yeah. That ass. No, just kidding.
Alright, let's get on to the next screenshot.
Alright, so in this next one, this map looks really cool. I've always been a fan of snow maps. You can see some sort of like mountain in the back. It looks really cool.
It seems like, yeah, from what I've seen of just like the trailer in general, it seems a lot of these maps are very exotic locations. You guys can tell the color schemes of the maps just seem to be very vibrant and not very dull at all, so that's something I'm really hyped up for.
Yeah, for sure, it looks really good.
Alright.
In this next clip, there's not really too much. It just says all dead on the wall, and I didn't really know what these little white pins were that were coming up, so I don't really know what that was. I kind of just want to throw it in there to see what you guys thought of it.
I was thinking it could be like some sort of bullet ricochet, maybe something like that. I mean, that'd be kind of like my best guess.
Yeah. Alright, and this next one is really where we start to get a ton of information, guys. So he's using a gun called the Man of War. Another thing that you can notice is that he's playing Domination. If you look at the minimap looks really good. It's very large, which is going to be a great thing. It also shows the direction of your friendlies, which is something that we've been missing in a couple Call of Duties. Also, the emblem looks really interesting. It looked like we saw that in one of those, whenever they did those Snapchat things as well. And he's also playing Domination, and it says round 1/2 and 200 points to win, and there's no timer. So that was already confirmed earlier that there's going to be no timer in different game modes. It's all going to be just straight up points, which is really awesome.
I believe something they pointed out a little bit while ago is that they didn't want to do a time-based sort of domination thing. They wanted to do a first to 100 points for that round, and then first to 100 points for the second round in order to win. So it could go on, past 10 minutes. It could be, like a 12 to 15 minute game of domination. I think that's how it's gonna work. And also something I wanted to point out, if you look up at the top left corner with the mini map, Greg was pointing out how the teammates are, the triangles are the direction of them. You can see, I was also looking at the map routes and how they were saying they're going to be a very sort of, 3 route based type of thing. There's not going to be all these sorts of nooks and crannies and all this useless crap that's in the map. It seems like it's going to be a very straightforward 3-laned type of map, and that's what I'm really excited about. You get those nice, head-on collisions where you get lots of gunfights going. Yeah,
that's going to be really good. So let's go on to the next one here. In the next clip, there's not really too much. I kind of just wanted to point out the iron sights of the Man of War, which is really cool. Also, you can notice that in the bottom right hand corner, he actually has some sort of streak, which we'll get to in a minute, and he also has a tomahawk in a slot kind of to the left, right above the 90, so that's really cool as well. And there's also something floating, which looks like it could be some sort of hover drone type thing.
Like a UAV, it's like a automatic sort of Griffin, if you guys remember that from Ghost, that one quad rotor type of deal, something like that, like a Dragonfire-esque type of thing. Maybe that's one of the returning kill streaks. I don't really know, but Yeah, it looks pretty cool from what I can see. I'm not sure. I mean, I remember the Dragonfire, I believe, maybe it showed up on the mini-map as of whenever it was firing, that it had some sort of like things coming out of it you could see, you know, like on the mini-map itself, like an indicator. And this one doesn't look to be firing, so I don't think it's a Dragonfire.
It shows up on the mini-map though. Look, see? It's like a...
Yeah.
It's like a plain thing, so that looks pretty interesting. One other thing I want to point out is if you look at the score streaks, it actually has 400 on the thing, so it's going to be able to tell you how many points you need, just like it did in Black Ops 2, which was a very good feature.
I was pretty hyped about that because sometimes you'd go into games and you're like, oh dude, I died like one off my UAV or something there. I did like 25 points off. So sometimes you want to play either really aggressive, you know, get the flag capture, get those extra points, or you got to know that maybe you only need like an assist and you just want to throw out like a stun grenade or something, you know, just because you're really scared. You really want to get that high streak.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next one here. And as you can see, I zoomed out. Basically, that's what the Man of War looks like. It looks really cool. And also look at the different layout at the bottom for each player card. I don't know if that, I don't think that was just custom created, but it looks like it's a picture of the soldier through every single one. So maybe you can unlock certain player cards by doing certain achievements. And I think that's what they talked about, which is really cool as well.
Yeah, I was kind of noticing also the leveling right down there. You can see level 38, and then I was also looking towards the left where it says Laminator, however you pronounce the name. I can see his level. He's 41, I believe, but I can't exactly tell what that emblem is. Is that like a prestige emblem?
I think it was an eagle. Yeah, I think it was an eagle. Yeah.
I don't really know what that would be. With 40, do you get the eagle? I remember there still being like stars of some sort. That may be up like.
Yeah, we'll get into that later on. There's another few screenshots that cover that sort of thing. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Yeah, so the next one was just clarifying that was 41. You can see the eagle much better.
Okay, that makes more sense.
There. Yeah, so on to the next screenshot, guys. And there's another guy here called like No Scoper, and he's level 46, and he has 2 stars. So that's getting pretty high up there with the leveling. But later on, you guys will see. Let's go on to the next one. So right here, he's actually throwing his tomahawk, and as you can see, it looks like a traditional tomahawk. Definitely looks really, really cool as well.
I actually was really kind of quite surprised that with it being the year 2065, they didn't have some sort of, you know, glorified, really just high-tech tomahawk. It's kind of nice to see that's just a standard tomahawk the guy just throws and absolutely like domes the enemy or wherever it ends up landing in him.
Yeah, I think on the next screenshot he actually hits him, which is really cool. And also it says that gravity spikes already, so that's what the class that he was using, he actually has gravity spikes. So you guys are gonna see what they look like. They look absolutely amazing. So let's go on to the next one. So right here, he's just wall running, basically nothing too crazy. It also says chopped up. And one other thing, they're bringing medals back, which is huge. And we saw that in a couple other screenshots, but medals being back means a lot of things. We're gonna get into different medals later on, but hopefully the nuclear returns. I think that's gonna be really cool. So on to the next one, guys. You can actually see another screenshot of the Man of War. Nothing really too crazy there, but look in the background. Look how amazing that looks.
Yeah, that's
the
one
colors
of the things,
are so crisp.
Yeah, that's also one of the things I think the other CODs have been really missing is a sort of like, since they don't have to design it for playability, that they don't really put too much time and effort into it. But I'm pretty sure Treyarch is going all out with this, and at least it looks nice when you look out on the map. So it's going to be able to create for some really nice cinematics, just, you know, some really nice, crisp, clean-looking gameplay. Or if you'd like to make montages or a feeder, then it's going to be really nice for that, is what I would assume.
Yeah, and they already said they're bringing back theater modes. I mean, that's going to be crazy good. Like, I cannot wait for that. So let's go on to the next one. And he just got the UAV score streak. So the UAV is returning, a nice simple UAV. It's definitely nice to have coming back into Call of Duty. And that guy is level 47 that he killed, Paint Job Picasso. And he has the 2-star thing as well. So let's go on to the next one. And these are the gravity spikes. They look crazy.
Yeah, I think I was pointing out to Greg earlier before we kind of went over some of this stuff that these kind of look a little bit of a mix of like construction cones and lights, like lamps. They're all put into one. It's either that or like Dyson vacuum cleaners. So I mean, some pretty intense stuff here. You get some good innovation.
And I would assume that they're most likely electrically charged, which would be really cool. And it kind of puts out a shockwave, which you guys will see in the next maybe 2 more screenshots ahead. So on the next one, you can see that he's actually going to be landing on the B flag, which is really cool. And then on the next one after that, you see the soldiers go flying backwards. So this thing's definitely going to be really powerful, just like the blast was in in Destiny, which is one thing that David Vonderhaar pointed out, is he was a huge Destiny fan, and they're implementing some of those things into Black Ops 3.
I feel like using that sort of superpower could kind of get you out of some like sticky situations too. Like you run into a few enemies or something, or you have to back up and you can suddenly just jump around the corner or like onto the objective like this guy's doing and just straight slam down there. Maybe you just clutch up the capture for your teammates. I mean, I feel like they'd be used for a lot of cool different things. Yeah,
it's going to be definitely really cool. Let's go on to the next one. I kind of just wanted to point out that this gun is called the KRM-262, and it's a pump action shotgun, which is really awesome as well. And it looks exactly like the R870, and when he actually runs in the trailer, it looks like the R870, so that's really cool. Kind of a fan favorite, I would say, the R870 was in Black Ops 2, so as long as they're sticking kind of to the same thing, it's definitely most likely going to be a really good shotgun. So going on to the next one here, we actually have him throwing some sort of grenade, and it looks really interesting. I don't really know what type of it is, but look at the design in the arm. The arm looks really interesting. Some sort of engraving, because it obviously isn't a real arm.
It honestly kind of looks like he has royalty camo on his arm.
Yeah.
From AW. I didn't even notice that really in the trailer. Now we got the screenshots out. That looks pretty sick. And as far as that sort of grenade goes, it almost looks like it's sort of a electronic disabler, not like an EMP grenade type of deal, but it's like an explosive EMP, because I believe in a screenshot like a forward or two, it seems like he destroys a C4 or something, so I'm not really sure. Maybe it's like an anti-explosive type of deal. You know, I have no idea.
Yeah, so let's go on to the next one. And it looks like maybe we skipped that one. But it does show that the Annihilator is ready, which is actually the pistol that was also something taken from Titanfall. I believe it was on, I don't remember the name of the class it was in Destiny, but I mean, that's basically taken right from
Pretty sure it's the Hunter, what you're thinking.
Yeah, the Hunter, yep.
That's like the only class I ended up playing because I got sick of the game.
Yep, so let's go on to the next one, and he actually pulls out the Annihilator, which is really cool. And as you can see in the bottom, it says TD Maniac is level 50, so it does look like there's only 3 stars there, so maybe it does go above 50.
And speaking of the looking down there at the bottom, you guys can kind of see what I just noticed was the character itself. You could see before it seemed like all you were seeing was the sort of like a ninja type of character down there, and now you see a guy with like glasses. Looks like a kind of more of like a brute. It's like a beefy type of guy, you know, like the what's the guy from Team Fortress?
I don't know the names of Team Fortress, but I know exactly what you mean, and I think that it's going to have the player that you chose in that bottom left-hand corner of the player card, and it's going to show like what skin color they are and all that sort of stuff. So definitely looks really interesting.
Can we take like a quick moment just to look at some of the kill streaks here, or like the score streaks he's got on the side? I feel like it looks like he's on an RCXD down at the bottom or something like that.
Yeah, the HCXD, I believe it's called, the hover. Hovercraft thing. I don't know what the second one is. It looks pretty interesting. The third one looks like a kind of maybe. Like some sort of interesting turret. So definitely looks really awesome. Let's go Going on to the next screenshot, yeah, see, it's the HCXD, so that was actually the first kill streak that he got, and he's using the Annihilator, which is the pistol like we talked about, which is his special streak. And as you can see in the left bottom right hand corner rather, there's the timer of actually how long you can use it, so that's really cool. It just goes down. I believe it lasts for like 10 seconds or something.
All right.
So going on to the next one. Do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things I kind of found is that, I mean, of course you guys can see Speed Swan here ended up getting a nice quad feed with it. So obviously the bullet or whatever this thing actually shoots out is going to have some really nice penetration on it to be able to go through multiple enemies, kind of like your DSR shot from Black Ops 2, your ballista, whatever you guys prefer to use. But I mean, it seems to be like a revolver, almost like an executioner-esque type of thing. But as we were pointing out earlier, it seems like it's something from Destiny. So I mean, I'm pretty hyped for this thing. I think it looks really cool. It's a nice little way to change up the battlefield.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some sick clips with this for sure in the game. So going on to the next one, it's kind of just another thing showing that, but there's the bloodthirsty medal. So that's what I want to show you guys. It actually looks pretty cool. You can't really see it. You'll see it later on in another picture, but it's basically a like Grim Reaper a hood on, which looks really cool, and that kind of confirms that there's going to be that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 streak medals in the game, which is awesome.
It's something I actually kind of enjoyed, as long as they pop up at like a certain point in time. Like let's say you're getting tons and tons of kills in a row, then they pop up delayed. But it's also kind of nice where you get a kill and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I have like 5 or 10 kills left till I get a nuclear or something like that. Yeah. It's always nice to just kind of gauge where you were at within your streak.
In the trailer, they actually went by really fast. Like they were on screen for like literally less than a second, or like a second max. And I know in like Black Ops 2, they would be up for like 3 seconds or 2 seconds. So maybe they're speeding it up so you know where you are exactly, which will be a little bit better. So going on to the next screenshot is just a picture. It was that same girl from before with the overkill class, it looks like, and she has the sniper and also the other gun on her back. So going on to...
Wait, before we go on to the next one, the sniper she's using, or the character is using, it kind of almost looks like something that'd be pulled out of Destiny. As we said, Vonderhaar was kind of a fan of it. There's one that looks kind of similar to that, a nice larger scope on the top with a really thin barrel and a sort of like a box magazine. That's something that I kind of took notice to like as soon as I first saw the sniper.
Yeah, for sure. So going on to the next one, we have the Locust Bolt, which is the name of that sniper actually. And it looks like there's a ballistic CPU on the top. You can actually see the kind of little diagram going on. And they're also playing Domination because it's or Team Deathmatch rather, because it says 75 points to win, which is cool. And there's no timer for Team Deathmatch either.
Something I actually just noticed was you can see there's like footsteps on the ground and on the wall, like through the air. Is that like some sort of maybe a power from the class or something like that?
It could be. That looks really cool.
Huh. It's like a tracking ability in a sense, really.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Alright, going on to the next one. She switches to the VMP, and she has a reflex sight on it, obviously, and grip. So that's cool. It shows the actual attachments you're using, and you can use up to 6 attachments, but that does take away from your kill streaks and your perks. And also there's a sports car down there that looks pretty awesome, kind of reminds me of Raid.
Yeah, it's like that. I mean, as far as the car goes, kind of reminds me of like an Aston Martin or something, or I don't know, maybe a Mercedes. Kind of off topic, but just kind of popped in my mind.
Yeah, and then again you can see those footprints, and they're actually like in midair as well, which is really cool. So going on to the next one, there's just another, they're kind of wall running, and it looks really interesting. It looks like all the places, or at least this place, is very future tech. Looks very futuristic.
One thing I'd like to point out as well is that there seems to be a little bit of a blood and gore here coming back, as we'll probably get into that a little bit later on with some of the crossbow stuff. You guys will may have seen. But just kind of slowing this down, I'm kind of a fan, or I'm actually a really big fan of the blood and gore aspect, because if you guys remember back to World at War, if you've been playing that long, people's limbs would actually fly off, you know, due to bouncing betties or like shotguns or something like that. So I feel that it'd be pretty nice to have some like nice, clean, crisp HD gore, you know, to make it really actually an M-rated game, not just having money fly out of people or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna add a little bit more of a, you know, hardcore feel to Call of Duty, which is always a nice thing to have. Going on to the next clip, it actually shows that the Sparrow is ready. So that is actually the crossbow, and as you can see, it just looks like super epic when he's shooting that guy that's wall running. So that's pretty cool. Going on to the next clip, the girl is actually using a Locust, which we saw before, Locust Bolt I believe it was called, but it has the attachments rapid fire and ballistic CPU, but the rapid fire, maybe there's an actual attachment that you can add to a sniper rifle to make it shoot faster, because it is called the Locust Bolt I believe, so maybe you can bolt in faster, which is kind of like having sleight of hand but as an attachment.
One of the things I was kind of thinking of was the fact that, I mean, you guys know that for whenever you use like a bolt action sniper rifle, you have to cock back the bolt. So maybe with the gun customization thing, maybe there's an ability to make it a semi-auto version by using like a different clip of some sort, different like bolt action, or like a chamber slot. Maybe that's something they implement into the game, because I think that'd be actually pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. That'd be really awesome. So going on to the next one, she actually pulls out the Sparrow, and it looks like she has 10 shots or 9 shots to actually use of this thing, which it looks really, really insane. That would be so much ammo to use.
Especially with the crossbow. So
on the next one, do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, like I said earlier, the blood and the gore, I think that's where it's at right there. She gets shot, or the character gets shot with a crossbow, she ends up like healing over, as in it's probably like impaling her, and then bam, it blows up. I was kind of disappointed that the character to the right didn't, you know, just blow up like that too. But I mean, that's pretty insane. I mean, come on, 1080p, 60 FPS, nice, clean stuff like that. That's gonna be absolutely like fantastic. And probably it's gonna be a little bit hilarious too when you see somebody's like body parts, you know, just fly across your screen or something.
Yeah, and it looks like there definitely is body parts coming out, which is just ridiculous. I mean, in World at War even, like, yeah, you would get your limbs shot off, but like not completely blown up and disassembled into like 1,000 pieces. So
it's like, is that somebody's head down in the bottom left of that explosion?
It definitely looks like it, yeah. So that's crazy. So going on to the next one, it's just another character, and I really liked how in the back the landscape looked. It looked really cool. Kind of reminded me of Jungle from Black Ops 1. Like any really like highly vegetation maps, it looks really, really sick. Kind of like the plains of Africa almost.
This looks like it's in the same sort of kind of deal of that first multiplayer map we were taking a look at. Maybe it could be a different portion to the map, but I was kind of getting like the same sort of greenery. Looks like it's in the back there. Maybe a little less bright. I don't know. Maybe it's just a cloudy day. Maybe they got some sort of what do you call it, map change or whatever is with the weather. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. I remember in World at War there used to be a nighttime and a daytime version, I believe.
For Macon, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a DLC thing though, because Macon was originally at night. But you never know. They could bring that back. So let's go on to the next one here. And this is another gun called the Shiva Semi, which is pretty awesome. And there's also a few more kill streaks, and it looks like they're playing Hardpoint actually. So that's another awesome thing. As you guys remember, the timer goes for 60 seconds on a Hardpoint, and it goes up to 250 points. And once again, there's no timer for the actual game. So it might go to exactly 250, which would be really cool.
Kind of thinking more towards the pro side of things. We all know Hardpoint's one of like the fan favorite game modes to see. It's always super intense, and it just generally gets down to the wire. Even as far as public matches go, I mean, Hardpoint's been also one of my favorite game modes because it's great for getting score streaks. You hop on the Hardpoint, kill some people, you're able to hop off, move to the next one. It's just absolutely great, and it's a game mode that I really would enjoy playing again.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be one of those guys playing Hardpoint most of the time for sure. It just didn't seem the same in Advanced Warfare at all.
Now, with all the boosting and everything, it just kind of made it so that, at least in Black Ops 2, a lot of people remember there was key points in the hardpoint to go to. Like, there's different spots where you could head glitch here or there. But it seems like in Advanced Warfare, you could go to so many different spots, and even when you got there, they would just boost out of the way, and it would just make it not that fun to be able to predict where they are.
Yeah, and this gun is also a semi-automatic. You'll see, and if you watch the trailer, he kills pretty much all the people that he kills in like 1 or 2 shots, or 2 or 3 shots rather. So definitely really cool. Maybe they're bringing back marksman rifles. Let's go on to the next one. And as you can see right there, he has a shock charge, which is being brought back, which we saw in Black Ops 2. So all those sniper trick shotters out there, you can probably do the awesome shock charge swap.
Knacks, I believe, is what they are.
Yeah, whatever it was. I don't know.
I'm not too big into trick shotting. That's one of the things I'm not a fan of, but I mean, people like their knacks. So, I mean, maybe that's one of those things.
Yeah, so let's go on to the next one. And just another thing I want to point out, that the guy on the left is actually level 50. So there's only 3 stars, so 50 probably is not the max level. And that's basically it for this one. It looks like he does have a ton of ammo though, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So going on to the next one, he's actually sliding. That's the leg. He's not using dual wield or anything, which means that sliding is back. I believe that dolphin diving is returning as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how you can actually activate those sort of things.
Yeah, because I generally believe that when you slide, it would probably be the same sort of key as dolphin diving. I don't remember, is there sliding and dolphin diving in the same game? Not
that we have seen, but I think that it, like, if you were on the ground, you're gonna slide, you're not gonna dolphin dive probably. I don't know, it's really interesting. We'll have to wait and see. I don't remember particularly exactly what they confirmed was returning as far as dolphin diving goes.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the next one here. And it looks, there's another bloodthirsty medal. Looks really awesome as well. So it looks like some sort of like hut built into like a mountain, which looks really awesome.
One of the things I just want to point out again is I'm also just a really big fan of the color selection on these maps. You can distinguish the players from the surrounding environment, as opposed to some games like Modern Warfare 3, where the character models were a little bit more gray and brown and just kind of more militaristic colors, and the maps weren't exactly really vibrant. So it's kind of hard sometimes to be able to pick people out, especially if they were a sniper, you know, in the back of the map with that blind eye pro, assassin pro, marksman type of stuff. I mean, they can just blend in super, super well.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go on to the next one. We should probably speed things up a little bit. We're going pretty long here. He's using the MR6 Semi, which is a semi-automatic pistol, which means that it's single shot. So that was pretty cool. And one other thing, it had 20 bullets to start with, which is pretty crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's the same as the 5.7 from Black Ops 2.
Mm-hmm. Let's go on to the next one. And as you can see right here, there's actually arrows pointing down, so that actually indicates the hardpoint areas, which is really cool. Instead of having it like a line. I did like the line because it showed it, but on some areas, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be able to distinguish whether you're on it or not.
Yeah, definitely.
And it does show that it is contested, which is cool as well.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
So going on to the next one, he actually has the class for glitch, which is the thing where you can go teleport back to, like, I believe it was 3 seconds previous.
Yep.
So you'll see that he actually gets a kill with that. So let's go on to the next one. You see that he's actually using the glitch mode there for this guy that is behind him and was shooting at him. And then in the next clip, you see that he's directly behind him and he gets like a one-shot kill on the guy. So that's really, really cool.
One of the things though is that I feel like some people kind of complain about that feature. That's gonna be one of the things people are gonna, you know, kind of hate about it. Like there would be like an invisibility type of thing. People thought the invisibility in AW was gonna be pretty irritating, and granted it kind of is, but I feel that Treyarch wouldn't put something into the game, especially like this, that allows you to go back in time if it was going to be extremely overpowered. So I'm assuming there's going to be a decent sort of cooldown on it, or something of that nature to kind of balance out the fact that you can go back 3 seconds in time.
Yeah, and that could also play in with that footsteps thing that we were talking about earlier. And also, one other thing is like the invincibility in Advanced Warfare. You can see them totally. So there has to be some sort of counter to this. There's no way Treyarch would make something this overpowered. I mean, that's more of like an Infinity Ward Riley dog thing.
Nobody likes the dog.
No one. Alright, on the next one. There's another gun that we're taking a look at called the Weevil, which also could be Evil, which is pretty cool, and it's an automatic rifle as well. And as you can see from the score streaks in the right hand corner, looks like he's running UAV care package and an airstrike.
I believe it's the lightning strike we see confirmed later on.
Yeah, so let's go on to the next one. Do you want to explain this?
Yeah, sure. So from what I could see, based on the last screenshot, the gun itself had a 50 round magazine count, and we all know that one of the guns that had a large magazine count, that's probably an assault rifle or an SMG, would have to be the P90. And the way this looks in the kill feed especially, kind of looks more of like a flattened out version of the P90, kind of like a mix of that and like the F2000, if you guys remember that from Modern Warfare 2. So this is like really one of the fan favorite guns, or at least one of my favorite guns to rush around with, because I mean, you can take out so many enemies, and being that we're of course, pub stompers, being able to take out lots of enemies within a single clip is always something, we're really a big fan of.
Yeah, and the really cool thing I like about this is the sight. The sight looks really clear, precise, and crisp, which is really cool.
There's no like circle around it or nothing, so it's really just easy to see what you're getting at.
Yeah, the P90 one was really hard to use sometimes.
Modern Warfare 2 especially, that one I wasn't a big fan of, but Modern Warfare 3, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, it was one of the better. So let's go on to the next one here. And this is just like a better overall view of the gun. You can definitely see how it looks like a P90 and the F2000. And the F2000, I want to point out as well, from Modern Warfare 2 was an assault rifle, but it had a really fast rate of fire. And usually with guns that have a high ammo count or ammo capacity, they are fast shooting guns. So this is probably a submachine gun.
That's probably what I would go with. I mean, the only gun that'd probably be the exception to that was the PDW from Black Ops 2. That was a slower firing gun, but it actually dealt out a lot of damage. If you guys remember back to the very beginning of Black Ops 2, that gun was super, super overpowered. It was kind of like the MP40 from World at War. He didn't have to run scavenger. He just ran around the map and picked up ammo practically because everybody ran it.
Yeah, for sure. So going on to the next one, it looks like he has the Scythe ready, which is that dreadful Gatling gun thing that we saw in the previous trailer that came out, and that just looks really stinking awesome. So let's go on to the next one, and it actually shows that he has a care package ready.
So care package returns. Hopefully you don't really get tons and tons of really good streaks out of them. I mean, not that I hate on care packages, but I mean, when people get the best score streak in the game like really easily, sometimes I felt like in Ghosts especially that you could get really good stuff out of them, just because I don't think there was a lot of score streak selection. So I mean, the chance you getting something really good was pretty likely. But
yeah, and one other thing to point out, did the see how the bloodthirsty medals up there, and it also shows another one, did they move like that?
I feel like they're almost stacking, because he got something at the very the same time. He got his 5th kill for the bloodthirsty, and then he also got the same thing. So I'm hoping that what they do is they kind of stack up a little bit, maybe just 2 to 3 long maximum, and that they pop up at the same time. That way they're not so delayed. Because I mean, if you were playing Black Ops 2, you guys remember that whenever you got your swarm, you get the falling skies, I believe is what it was called, and that would literally be on your screen the entire game, because it was one for every kill. Yeah,
and it would be up for 2 or 3 seconds every time as well. It was kind of annoying. So let's go on to the next one here, and this is another pistol. I believe it has 10 bullets in a clip, but it's an automatic pistol. So that's pretty cool. So let's go on to
it's not too overpowered though.
Yeah, so on to the next one. Here is the Scythe, which is really cool. And also the character on the left is level 52 and he has 4 stars. So we're either going to be going to level 55 or 60. I would assume 55 is the max level though.
Because what, don't you get like 5 stars for being a general, really, is what the max level would be? So I mean, I would say probably, it's debatable, really. So we'll just have to keep going with it.
Yeah, it depends how the level progression actually is. So let's go on to the next one here, and man, this picture is so sick. I'm making this my computer background after this video because this just looks so epic and so beastly. And that's the scythe, obviously the Gatling gun, which looks really, really cool. Let's go on to the next one, and yes, it was called a lightning strike, so that's awesome.
That's really cool, and as I pointed out earlier, the gore, the blood, it's insane. I mean, this is probably only what, a pre-alpha build, I'm assuming, since it's not too far along the development process. I know they've had 3 years, but they're probably going to go through and refine it.
Yeah, and it looks like it also has 200 bullets to use. So kind
of like the Death Machine.
Yeah.
Is what I believe that had an ammo count of. Around
that. Let's go on to the next one here. So it's actually a one of those, you know, just regular like planes or helicopter type things dropping one of those spike balls. And I believe that this is going to be kind of equivalent to the dogs that we saw in Black Ops 2. And I believe that there are multiple ones that drop. So it's not just one. Maybe there's different planes that drop it over the map in different areas or something like that.
That'd be absolutely freaky though, to have those like chasing you around the map. Like, oh
yeah,
I'd be crapping bricks, I'm telling you that.
And then in the next picture you can really see like all the spikes. Like that would be so insane, and they almost move like a buzzsaw type thing, which is crazy. And then the next one, this character was actually shooting at it and it exploded. So there is actually a counter to it. You have to shoot it though. So when it's moving pretty fast, you're gonna have to really be very accurate with your aim.
It looks like that's kind of like a rundown fitness center. That's what it seems like. Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's probably that city map because you can see 2 skyscrapers in the top right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So on the next one, this is underwater. This looks really cool, and another gun called the Vesper Auto, which is a regular automatic gun, most likely a submachine gun. It kind of reminds me of the Vepr, which we saw in Call of Duty Ghosts. It looks like it does have a pretty high ammo capacity because there's 53 bullets left after already getting shot.
Maybe the person whipped on extended clip with it. I'm not really too sure, but from what I could tell from the trailer at least, it seems like the bullet travel time underwater does not seem to be any different, nor the damage ratio of the bullets. So I mean, I guess that's kind of good. It's always a little bit more of a pain if you have to shoot somebody in the water. Like I know in Advanced Warfare, if you guys go on the map Retreat, if you're trying to shoot somebody in the like the little pool, or if you go on Terrace, you guys know what I'm talking about, how sometimes you have to put like 20 bullets into somebody just to be able to kill them.
Yeah, exactly. So going on to the next picture. The main thing I kind of just want to point out was that this gun that he's using is actually like kind of like an electric type gun, it looks like, and there's an awesome explosion in the background as well.
I believe that's a Tempest, the one that we'll see here coming up.
Yeah, so let's go on to the next picture, and this is actually like a character dropping, and I believe it said something about like a GI, so maybe you'll have some sort of squad mate type character that you can call in as a kill streak.
That's kind of what I was thinking, because I was, while Greg was looking through all this and taking all the screenshots, I was playing back the trailer, and it said like GI blah 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 deployed. So that's kind of what I was really thinking, that it was probably going to be a support squad mate of some type, but like more of a lethal one, considering that within, I believe, the next screenshot you'll see it drops down with like a heavy machine gun. Yeah, so let's go on to the next picture, and yeah, that does look epic. That gun looks like a few different types of like big LMGs that we've seen before. The MK48 comes to mind when looking at that. This screenshot to me, just as soon as I see like the character, like the robot, I immediately think of the movie Elysium. Have you ever seen that movie? It's basically what this looks like.
Alright, so let's go on to the next one here. And there is the Tempest. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So the Tempest to me, it looks a little bit more of like the direct energy weapon from Advanced Warfare. I can't think of it off the top of my head at the moment what the name of it is.
EPM 3.
The EPM, yeah, except this one looks like it probably does not have a reach, like a timer of some sort, or like a heat meter so that you don't overheat, since it probably is the special weapon from what you guys can see down there in the far bottom right corner. And also coming up with the next screenshot, it has like a chain reaction, so it kind of reminds me of the weapon from Zombies, really, is what I take it as.
Yeah, let's go on. Yeah, so that looks really cool. I think that's going to be one of the better weapons or better score streaks to actually use when it comes to Black Ops 3 multiplayer. So going on to the next screenshot, guys, we have the huge, what was it called?
The Lodestar? Or are you talking about this? Like what the crosshairs look like is the Lodestar, but it's called the Mothership.
The Mothership, yes. So that's really cool. And just pointing out the different things that you can do. You can move to a new location, zoom in, exit, fire gun, and also fire rockets. Mm-hmm. So
and one of the really things cool. I remember with Black Ops 2 is the VTOL warship. I believe you couldn't like change which locations you wanted to go to. All you could do is really spam the button, you know, the X button or the whatever it is for console you play, but it looks like you can actually use the joystick probably to direct where you want to move, so that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and I remember David Vonderhaar saying that this gun is actually going to be really, really good, so that's awesome as well.
Probably a top tier kill streak or score streak for you guys to be able to achieve.
Yeah, kind of probably equivalent to like the Swarm or the Lodestar.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go on to the next one here, and it just shows Mothership kill. So you get 25 points. I believe that's how many points you got for the Lodestar. Yep. Or the Lodestar was 20 maybe. I don't know,
25,
but
yeah.
Yeah, so it's really, really similar to that, which is awesome. Let's go on to the next one here, and it's just another thing, you know, it's a quad feed showing the rockets getting deployed and blowing up. And I really like how awesome kill streaks always have the enemy like shown in with a red box around it. In this case it's like a hexagon, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice sort of feature. It just makes it so the enemies are visible to you. I mean, I'm not sure if there's going to be a sort of perk type that allows you to be hidden from that so you don't appear on it, but at least what I hope is that the player models may be a little bit discreet enough that you don't get killed by it, you know, just like guaranteed, so that the perk is worth using.
Yeah, so let's go on to the next one here, and this is just kind of like, I think, an overview of the actual Mothership, raining down hell upon the enemies that are there, getting blown up. So on to the next one is actually the Gunsmith, which is one of the awesome new features that'll be included within Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And this is the Man of War, and as you can see, you can have 5 different attachments. You can have a custom paint job which has 64 layers, and also camo, and then also an optic. So you can actually automatically have an optic and then 5 additional attachments, which is just crazy. So do you want to talk about the next screenshot?
Yeah, sure. So as far as I can see, he probably has a standard red dot sight on that. I see a foregrip. I'm not exactly sure what the little white thing is. Maybe a hair trigger, a quick trigger, maybe something to make the fire rate go a little bit faster. I'm not sure what he's actually selected on. I have absolutely no idea whatever that is. But he's got a stock on there, so I'm assuming that's probably going to be something to help you move around, you know, ADS a little bit faster. And it looks like he's got also a different sort of barrel on it. So maybe that's like a flash suppressor. He's got something maybe just, I don't know, to affect the way the bullets come out of the gun is what I'd be thinking.
Yeah, so on the next one, you can actually see that the barrel's a lot different. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's really cool. It just totally changes the look of the gun, which is going to be really awesome. And I'm sure we're going to have different variants of guns that we're going to make for you guys to show you like, wow, this gun's wicked good. And that's going to be a really awesome feature for a lot of YouTube creators to actually like make the best variation of different guns.
Because we all know that at least within, you know, the current Call of Duty titles, you can have a maximum of 3 attachments at any one point in time. So as you know, pub stompers, all we're going to be running is, of course, like stock, extended clip, fast mag, you know, the stuff that allows us to be able to move around faster, give us more ammunition. something like that. But at least with this allows us to have some sort of different variations to be able to try throughout the life cycle. So I mean, we could have, you know, a silencer stock, fast mag, foregrip, and a red dot sight all on at the same time, which is actually really cool. And something else I wanted to point out was the fact that it says Skull next to Man of War, or Man O' War. So I'm not exactly sure, is that a variant of the gun, or is that what he named it? Whoever created it?
Yeah, he probably named it that or something. And also one other thing about all the attachments is it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays into competitive.
Oh, that's very true. Maybe there's going to be some sort of restrictions on how many you can use, you know, something like that.
Yeah, it could be. So let's go on to the next one here. And these are all the different colors that you can actually change the gun color to, and the different layers. So remember, there was 64 layers that you can have as a maximum, but look at all the different color variations. Like, it's almost like you're going to be able to have a gold gun without even actually unlocking like a gold camo, which would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see if there's a sort of camo creator. How are they going to do camos? Is this going to be it? Is there going to be special things for unlocking, you know, or doing different challenges? Because that's how it's been pretty much in every other Call of Duty, via like headshots or attachment challenges. I mean, so I don't know. It's gonna be
and one other thing pointed out at the bottom, it says weapon paint feature available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC only. So it's not going to be on PS3 and Xbox 360. So that's another reason why you might want to upgrade to a better next-gen console.
Cough, cough, chain.
So going on to the next one, is actually putting on the different decals, and as you can see, he has like a skull there and different things. So that looks really cool. Definitely looks awesome. Go on to the next one. There's the decal. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, as far as the decal comes across to me, I mean, you can see the whole, you can copy layers, you can cut layers, change it, do all that sort of stuff with the controls there on the left. And I'm really a fan of the layers themselves. It seems like from the fact that you have 64 layers to choose from, that there's going to be a lot of different shapes, and you're going to be able to do lots of different customization. I remember going back into Black Ops 2, going onto YouTube to find out how certain stuff looks and having to figure out, you know, where exactly they put it. So maybe there's going to be some sort of, you know, percentages or, you know, different quadrant areas that's going to help you out, at least with that. And as far as, you know, his emblem goes, like the way it's designed, it kind of reminds me of like a skull version of Iron Man, you know?
Yeah, I believe on the next one it actually like pulls out the gun. So as you can see, like, it does look really, really sick on the side of a gun. Like, you can definitely point that out if you're fairly close.
The guy actually looks pretty angry in that screenshot too. Like, he's pissed at somebody.
Yeah, so that's all the pictures, guys. This went really, really long. Like, this is probably the best breakdown that you will ever find on YouTube for Black Ops 3's first multiplayer trailer. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys check out Chuck's channel if you're on my channel, and vice versa. But honestly, like, wow, we definitely dove in very, very in depth with this entire trailer.
Yeah, this is probably the longest video I've ever made, so I mean, this is definitely taking a lot of time to go through and analyze stuff. I mean, me and Greg have been sitting here talking about this stuff basically since the trailer came out, trying to find out every little bit in detail. If you guys notice something that we happen to not have covered, you think that's like really cool and important that you want to share, be sure to, you know, drop it down in the comment section below, no matter whose channel you're on, what channel you see it from. And I guess that's really all I gotta say. So Greg, you want to do your outro, or?
Yeah, so anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, we really, really appreciate it. And if you guys stayed to the end of the video, comment "that was easy."
That was easy.
And I hope you guys enjoyed.
So
I'm probably gonna call it like a podcast, honestly. Like,
it's long enough to go for one. It really is. So yeah, guys,
you should do your outro.
Yep. Till next time, guys. Take it easy, and just remember, don't triple cap, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.
Peace.